10 tips that will help you change your life, especially in the midst of chaos. You want to know what these 10 tips are? Well, stay tuned and watch. This is Alexandra Villarroel Abrego, and I welcome you to another episode of Alexandra TV. In today's episode, I will be sharing with you 10 tips that you can use to change your life, really, especially as we are going through these very, particular, very uncertain times. Now, these tips that I'm going to be sharing with you, a lot of them are kind of like habits that you need to, create and maintain. And in order to help you with that, we've created the Habit Tracker. This is a free tool. It's a free PDF that you can download and then print, and it's completely free, and it's going to help you maintain your habits, because it's one thing to create a new habit. Now it's another thing to keep it, right? To maintain it. So if you want to download this free tool, simply go in the description below this video, or you can even click on the screen right now and you'll be able to download it. Now, without any further ado, let's begin with the first tip that I want to share with you today. And this one might seem surprising because usually we hear the opposite. The first tip is to isolate yourself. Now, when it comes to personal development and self-help and changing your life, you often hear things like you need to create your tribe and you need to, connect with people and all of that. And all of that is true, definitely. However, at the beginning, when you're starting to change your life, you need to isolate yourself. Think about it. It's like the butterfly. The butterfly, before it becomes a butterfly, what happens? It goes in its little cocoon and it's going to stay there. It's going to isolate there before it can transform into the butterfly that it's meant to be. Before that, it's the little caterpillar. Then the caterpillar goes in the cocoon. And then, like I said, the transformation happens. And it's like that when it comes to us, when it comes to our lives. At the end of the day, I truly believe that we can learn so much from nature just by watching nature and the way that it is, the way it changes and it grows. We can learn a lot and really apply it into our lives. And just like that, this metaphor, the little caterpillar goes into the cocoon, therefore isolates in order to become and transform into a butterfly. It's the same thing that you have to do. You need to spend time with yourself, think, try to see what are the things that don't work in your life, what are the things that you want to change, and start creating that plan for your greater and better life. The second tip that I have for you, and it's a very fun one, I find, is to create subtle reminders all around you. Now, this is very important because we are, as humans, multi-sensory beings, and we are visual, of course. So you need to have all around you, in your home, in the place where you spend most of your time, some subtle reminders of the life that you want to create and who you want to become. I remember 10 years ago when I first started my journey, one subtle reminder that I had at the beginning is after I wrote my first book and I published it, well, I would always make sure to have copies of my book all around me, in my living room, in my bedroom even. Why? Because I knew that was a powerful, subtle reminder of who I was. First of all, I was already an author. Very often when you start your business or you become an author too, you kind of had that imposter syndrome, right? Where you don't actually believe that you are that. So in order to remind myself that I was that I was an author, that I was a published author, and that I had my book, I would always leave that around, but also to remind me of what was the vision, of who I wanted to become. And of course, I'm not telling you that you should go ahead and write a book just so that you can have a subtle reminder around you, but it can be little things. It can be this, a picture of something that you've accomplished, of a place that you've traveled to, a subtle reminder of you wanting to one day travel the world. It can be a little thing like a little trophy that you got at some point. It can be anything really, but make sure you leave clues all around you, clues of the life that you want. And of course, one very powerful, subtle reminder is a vision board, right? Because in a vision board, that's where you have all the images of the life that you want and who you want to become. Now, if you want to know how to create one, you can just click on the image here that's going to appear on the screen where you can watch our vision board video. The next tip that I have for you, and this one, we hear it often in the personal development and self-help industries, it's to have powerful affirmations. Now, I push it a little more, than that. It's not just to have affirmations, to think about it, to recite them, but I want you to take the time to write them down on pieces of paper and stick them all over your house, all around you. You know, again, I remember at the beginning of my journey, when I was going through my change, through my transformation, I remember one night, it was a specific night where things were just not going good. It had been a few days, a few weeks that it wasn't going good. I didn't know if I should continue, you know, pushing because I wasn't seeing the results that I wanted. It's completely normal. You know, anyone who's at the beginning of their journey towards change, it's like that at the beginning. It's not easy. So I remember one night staying up all night just to write on really like about 100 papers, white little sheets, affirmations, just like positive affirmations of who I wanted to be, what I wanted to accomplish. And then I put them all over my home. They were on my TV, on my mirror, in my bedroom, on my bed, on my fridge, everywhere around me you would see affirmations. And it looked kind of crazy, but believe me, it was powerful. Because whenever I would look at them, I would read that affirmation and I would remember who I wanted to be and where I was headed. The fourth tip that I have for you is to create your sacred reading hour. What is that? You know, when it comes to the personal development world and when it comes to change, well, reading is very important, obviously, because when you read, you learn new things. Therefore, your mind expands, right? But very often when it comes to reading, we procrastinate. Why do we procrastinate? Because we say, I'm going to read one book a month. This is the book that I'm going to read. I'm going to read one book every week. But then we don't schedule the time to do it. So what you want to do is you want to treat your reading time as if it was a meeting that you have with someone. You put it in your agenda, you put it on your phone, you know that it's happening. Do the same thing. Create your sacred reading hour. So an hour a day of reading. It can be in the morning, in the evening, in the middle of the day, whatever, but just choose whenever that time is going to be and write it down and do it. The next tip that I have for you, and it's very similar to the last one, is to take a course. You know, start taking a course, studying a course. It can be a course on personal development. It can be a course on business. It can be a course on spirituality. It can even be a course about cooking or gardening. Whatever it is, this is very important because if you want to change, you need to, you know, work on your talents, work on your knowledge, work on your resources, work on all the things you know. So you need to, again, just like for reading, expand your mind. Now, as I said, it can be courses that help you grow in your business or on your personal life. It can be really anything. Of course, at A.V.A Enterprises, we'd love to have you as one of our students, so you can always go and look at the courses that we offer. But like I said, it can be a course about how to cook or how to taste wine, or, you know, a course on history, whatever. The important thing is to take courses, to constantly learn new things. The next tip that I have for you is one that we've done a whole video about. It's very simple. It's 3 steps. It's organize, clean, and cleanse. Organize, clean, and cleanse. We've done a whole video about this. I'm going to put it on the screen right now. You can go and watch it if you want to have more information. But if you want change to happen, you need to change your environment. You need to move it. You need to move the energy. So what better way to do that than to organize things, to clean things, and to cleanse things. The next tip that I have for you that will help you change your life, and this one might seem very obvious, but often we forget to do it, is to write down your dreams, your goals, your desires. Write it down. It has so much power. Thinking about it and just visualizing it, it's not the same as writing something down. Why do you think they call it spelling? You know, spelling comes from spell, casting a spell. When you cast a spell, it's because you want something to manifest, right? So you want to make sure that you write it down. It's so important. And even you can create your own like book of dreams. So you get a notebook, a notepad, and that's going to be your book of dreams. And that's where you write down all of the goals that you have and all the dreams that you have. Take the time to do that. The next tip that I have for you that will help you change your life is to really be honest with yourself. Evaluate yourself. What are your weaknesses? What are your strengths? What have you done wrong? What can you do better? If you want to change your life, the first thing you need to do is really be honest. Be honest with yourself, your shortcomings, and work on them. You know, work on yourself, on trying to improve those weaknesses that you have. But you can't just think about what are your strengths and talents and everything. That's important to do, right? But it's not it. You need to also think about your weaknesses, your shortcomings, and work on them. The next tip that I have for you is to motivate yourself. You need to be your own cheerleader, you know, on your journey towards the life that you want, the life of your dreams. On your journey of change, you need to be able to motivate yourself. This is very, very important. I remember at the beginning of my journey when I first started, I was working at this job that I hated, and I had already started making videos on YouTube. I already wrote my first book, and I would work there at the call center every day, and my colleagues around me who were good friends of mine, they would always make fun of me. You know, whenever I would post a new video, they would always crack jokes and everything. They would think that they were laughing with me, but deep down didn't think it was that funny, right? Because I was trying to improve myself. I was trying to create, the life that I wanted. So at some point, what I would do is that I would just connect my earplugs to the computer and I would listen on YouTube to Les Brown, all his motivational speeches. And, you have to be hungry. That was so important, really, on my journey to motivate myself. Because in those times when they would say all these jokes and make me doubt what I was doing, really, I needed that motivation. And when you are on your journey towards change, you need the motivation and you need to go out there and get it, right? So you need to find your sources of motivation and be your own cheerleader. And then finally, the last tip that I have for you, and this one is, I think, the most important one of them all, especially with what we are going through right now, is take your time. Change takes time. It takes time. So you need to be patient with yourself. You need to make sure that every day you do something to move forward, to create some changes, but know that it will take time. This is normal. So this tip is really to make you understand that, again, change takes time and you need to be kinder to yourself. So what about you? What are your tips for change? What are the things that you are starting to do in order to create change in your life? Let me know in the comment section below. I would love to read from you. If you like this video, don't forget to like it. Don't forget to share it with all of your friends. And of course, to subscribe for new episodes 3 times a week here on Alexandra TV. Don't forget, of course, to also go download your free habit tracker in order to start tracking all those new habits that you are wanting to create. The link is in the description below. It will also appear on the screen. So that is it for today, and I will see you very soon.